Just a normal job, the mundane job, the job that nobody else wanted to do, but it was a dangerous job, and David took it seriously, as you can tell. If it's something that you're dreading, chances are you're dreading is only going to get worse. So my challenge is, look at your past. What are all the things that you've overcome? Hello and welcome to the Bears and Lions podcast. If you're new here, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button or that follow button on iTunes or Spotify. It really helps the podcast. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. It's so good to see you. I hope that you enjoy. We've updated some things and I'm so excited. And honestly, I've had some things ready for a while and I got to this point where I was like, what am I waiting for? Let's just get into it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I hope you enjoy the conversation and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome to the new Bears and Lions podcast. Now, it's not new. It's still the same Bears and Lions podcast, but we have a new logo, a new intro, new song, and I'm really excited. The logo is professionally done. It looks incredible, exactly how I envisioned it, a little bit better, in fact. But last episode, if you listened, I started talking at the end of it where I was like, we've got this big news and I'm going to drop it at episode 100 or episode 95. And I just kept thinking this week, what am I waiting for? I have the logo. I can complete some of the editing process for the intro. And I know that I have this song that I kind of want to change to and start. And it was like, what am I waiting for? There's no reason to wait. I'm the guy that says, go do the thing. Don't talk about doing the thing. Just go do it. So here we are. We're doing the thing. And even if you go back to the beginning idea of this podcast, not just episode 1, because if you look at episode 1, episode 20, episode 35 to now, I mean, everything's changed. I'm in a whole new state, a whole new room. The lighting's a little bit better. The recording's a little bit better. I'm a little bit better at editing things for the posts that I post. I mean, it's wild to think how much we've grown. But if you go back with me to the first idea of this podcast, we go back all the way, circa 2017, a younger Kyle, I was old-ish, but I was younger than I am now, was sitting in the common room of the School of Digital Media and Communications at Liberty University. I just got done working out and I was sitting in this common room doing my Bible reading and I come across, boom, the story of David and Goliath. Now, a lot of us know the story of David versus Goliath or David and Goliath. We use it all the time. The terminology is used in sports. When the little guy who shouldn't be there goes up against the big guy who definitely should be there, right? We talk about it as if, the underdog is David and Goliath is this big walloping team that, barely lost at all during the regular season. And of course, the 6th seed isn't going to take down the number 1 seed here or, whatever that might be. But we use this terminology. However, when I came across this story, I saw something that I had never seen before, and I'm going to share it with you. So this is 1 Samuel 17, 34 through 37. I'm going to break it up just a little bit for you. But David said to Saul, "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and killed it. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine," meaning Goliath, the giant. Now, when I read this, I realized, wait a second. First off, David had to go ask permission to fight Goliath. This wasn't like Goliath was, storming the castle and David was, protecting the king and dives in front of the door as Goliath knocks it down and then says, "I'm going to kill your king." And David's like, "Over my dead body." That's not what was happening, right? This wasn't an action sequence from Lord of the Rings. This is completely different. This is a pursuit. This is a pursuit that David has to go ask the king permission to fight this giant who's defying the armies of Israel, defying the God of Israel, Yahweh, right? And one of the things that immediately just triggered in my mind is, I've got it all wrong. We've got it all wrong. The terminology of David versus Goliath, it's not just the little guy versus the big guy, the little guy who doesn't belong there, against the big guy who definitely does. Now, that's the way that Saul looked at it. The king said, how are you going to fight this giant? And David gave him his resume. And this is what's so cool is David's resume is as a shepherd. Just a normal job, the mundane job, the job that nobody else wanted to do, but it was a dangerous job, and David took it seriously, as you can tell, right? When a bear would come or a lion would come, he'd go after it and strike it and kill it. Think about that. That's a resume. And what I really came to the conclusion is that giants don't come to our front door. Bears and lions do. That breakup that we went through in college or that job we lost in our 20s, it hurts to go through, but we can look back on those things and see, yeah, we have become stronger because of them, right? The giants, however, those are the things that we pursue. We hunt down the giants in our lives. Those are the jobs or promotions that we've applied for. Those are the things that we've stepped out and chose. We're going to pursue it with everything we have. The giants are the moments in life that we've put ourselves out there, not because we're so awesome, but because our past has proven that we are capable of stepping into a moment such as this and being the last one standing at the end of it. That's what's so beautiful about pursuing giants, is recognizing that this is something that we belong on the battlefield. We belong here. Good thing David didn't say, let me wait until I grow older and get a little bit stronger. David didn't say, let's just wait. Let's wait until we've matured. Let's wait until we're ready. David said, no, I'm ready now. And this is why I'm ready now, which is why this podcast is called Bears and Lions, is because I believe that everything we're going through, whether it was a breakup or a job or a school or class that we didn't do well in, or things that we did well in, but we learned from and we're excited about, all of the things that we go through in life are bears and lions that give us the skills to place us in the battlefield, because we belong on the battlefield taking down the giants that we pursue. So if we want to buy a house, the bears and lions are the skills that we learn to save money, to set aside, to work hard, to ask for a promotion at work, to ask for a promotion that we have earned, not just one that it's like, oh yeah, this would be a promotion that I think I would do good at the job. No, here is my resume, and this is why I would be really good at the job. It's because I've already done X, Y, and Z, and this is actually equaling what is implied that's needed in this job. This is in the job description, and I've already done it. So I think I would be good for this job to make this amount of money, right? That's the bears and lions of our lives. And I'm so glad that David sends us a message of, you don't have to worry about your age. You don't have to worry about all the other warriors around you and all the other people, right? David didn't say, well, I'll wait to see if this guy goes, and if he dies, then I'll not fight Goliath. A lot of people are waiting for other people to find out whether or not, this is a good pursuit. Everybody looks for the affirmation from others, right? They talk about it. I really think I want to do this. It'd just be really, I think I have a heart of a writer. And it's like, okay, what have you written? Well, yeah, I haven't really written much, but I've thought about it. Okay, great. Go write something and then bring that back, and I'll tell you whether or not you should continue this. Because most likely your first bit's going to be bad, but that's okay. You can grow. You have to be willing to be bad at something before you're able to become good at it, right? People don't just pop out and they're Mozart on the piano. Like, you have to dedicate time and effort into it, which is why I really just kept thinking about, what am I waiting for? I don't want to say, what am I waiting for? I just want to pursue the things I want to pursue. And this podcast is one of them. And we will always continue to grow. So I'm not waiting. We're just updating, right? It's not about waiting for the right time. We're just going to update. And then what I realized is that as I went through this week, I got more and more stressed of like, why did I say we're going to wait until episode 100? Why did I say we're going to wait until episode 95? I have all this stuff. I just want to go post it. I've put in time and effort into this podcast. I put in time and effort every week, and I love doing so because when talking about the things that I'm going through, when talking about my pursuits, when talking about the lessons I've learned, it's reintegrating it into my brain and forcing me to explain it in ways that maybe I haven't thought of yet, but hopefully will trigger and communicate to you, and you'll be listening and say, oh, I never thought of it that way. And I'll encourage you to not make the mistakes I've made, to pursue the dreams that you have, and to become your best self. That's my goal. That's what I want. And the more I sat there and thought about it, all of a sudden, the indecision of like, should I or shouldn't I? I don't want to do this. Maybe I do want to do this now. Maybe I want to make it a bigger deal. I want to dramatize it and make it into like this big ordeal where I make all these big posts that nobody watches anyway. Because like, why do I care? I'm going to continue posting this podcast, whether I get 0 views or 100 views or 1,000 views or 1,000,000 views, because I just want to do this podcast. Like, it has nothing to do with the views at that point. So why am I making it into a big deal? What am I waiting for? What are you waiting for? What is something in your life that you've put off because you want to make it a big deal? Maybe it's going back to school. Oh, I'll do it when I'm ready. Maybe it's asking that girl to marry you. We've been dating for like 3 years and I'm not sure if we're ready. Nobody's ever ready. What are you waiting for? You have the ability to? You have 2 legs? I'm waiting to go on that diet. Why? What are you waiting for? I'm waiting for the first of the month. That's 2 weeks away. That's a week away. Why? Just do it. What are you waiting for? We tend to stress ourselves out. In fact, I was even looking this up, right? The longer that it takes to make a decision, we are more susceptible to what's called choice overload, which causes anxiety and overthinking because we constantly will find new things and new choices and new reasons to keep us from making the original choice. So our goal has to be, here's the choice that I have. And before all of the other choices come along, that's just going to distract us from the main thing. Let's learn to make the choice now. Boom. What are you waiting for? Do you have the ability to do it? Then let's do it. Now, I understand. I also looked at some studies where taking a little bit longer to make big decisions, life decisions, is actually better on the anxiety. It's something that my dad taught me on. Sleep on it. The optimal time to make a good decision, I would say, is in between the time of 1 to 3 weeks. And that is purely based on the size. I'm talking life decisions, like me moving to a completely different state. I knew I wanted to, and I knew I was in pursuit of it long before I actually made the choice. So the choice was only a couple days. In fact, it was pretty much, I'd say it's 3 days total. And so when it comes to smaller choices that have great impact, I would say sleep on it. So maybe it's a big choice, like my car. My car broke down and I had to buy a new car. That was a big choice. I took 1 day to sleep on it. Took 1 day. I pursued wisdom and then I slept on it and I woke up with conviction. This is the right choice. And I'm sure if I waited, I would have been posed with a bunch of other choices, only prolonging it and then wondering, am I second guessing here? See, this is one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of dating apps. Now I'm on dating apps because I'm a single guy and I'm 35 and I'm in a new area and I'm trying to meet people, but I'm also trying to be respectable about it. And so I'm very upfront, like, hey, I'm trying to meet people and there's no strings attached here. Just let's get coffee and talk. Let's become friends at least, if anything. Some people aren't into that and some people are. Honestly, it's kind of wild, but there's so many choices. You literally are faced with like hundreds of people in moments where you can just swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe right. It's like, whoa, there's so many choices. And I get it. Like, I get it. It's awesome that we can have instant gratification. But I still remember when the dollar menu at McDonald's had like 4 things. Had a McChicken, had a fry, had a drink, and maybe had nuggets. And that was it. Nowadays, all value menus are actually, there's not really a value menu. There's a value menu, quote unquote, but it's like $2.50 for like the value menu product, or maybe it's like $4 for like a burger. But it blows my mind that I remember when there was less choices and how quickly you could make them. You've got 2 choices of popsicles. You've got red and you've got purple. Well, I'll take purple. That was our choices that we'd make after we played, baseball at the park or went out for a weekend trip to the creek or wherever we were going. We get this choice overload nowadays, and it's hard to make it. So then we end up wondering, oh, if I just wait, there will be a better choice. It's FOMO, fear of missing out, right? If I just, you know what? I don't want to make a decision. I don't want to make a decision right now, because if I wait, something better is going to come along. And what we end up doing is we end up waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and we never make a choice. So it's my challenge, and it's my, I would say it's my responsibility to practice what I preach and not wait. Just do it. Do the thing. Don't wait to do the thing. Just do the thing. Don't talk about doing the thing. Just do the thing. So we've updated to the new Bears and Lions logo with the new intro and how we roll about things. And that's just how it's going to be. And maybe there are things in your life where you need to stop waiting. Just do it. Get it over with. If it's something that you're dreading, chances are your dreading is only going to get worse. In fact, if you just do it now, you get it over with, then you'll at least know, oh, maybe it's a tough conversation. I don't have a conversation with my boyfriend about this important thing where we might actually break up and it's killing me on the inside, but I just keep saying I'm fine and he just keeps texting I'm fine. Maybe if you just had the conversation, you'd find out, oh, wait, he feels the same way. We need to fix this and we need to actually grow together. What? It's going to work out. That's stress off my plate. Or maybe you find out this isn't going to work. Well, you'd find it out eventually. It's better to find out now and get it over with. All these things that we just keep putting off. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What am I waiting for? I didn't want to wait anymore. I just wanted to do this. I just want to do the thing. So I practice what I preach. And honestly, as I've thought about it, if we could spend half the time it takes to think about doing the thing on actually doing the thing, I think we'd have a lot less stress. And we'd probably have a lot more progress towards the life that we always wanted. And as I say that, I realize, wow, there are so many things in life that I probably could have gotten done if I had stopped waiting on it. So my challenge this week is just stop waiting. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for in life? Life is passing us by so quickly. Tomorrow, you're going to blink and you're going to be a year older. The next day, you're going to blink, you're going to be 5 years older. Things happen so quickly. Don't waste it. Just do it. If you're worried about making a mistake, learn from it. Make wise decisions as best you can and then stand by them and go do the thing. I'm so glad David didn't say, I'll wait till I get older. He said, no. Look at my resume. I'm going to go out and fight Goliath because I've already handled a bear and a lion. I'm not afraid of this guy. So my challenge is look at your past. What are all the things that you've overcome? What are all the things that you've completed? What are all the accomplishments that you've done? The classes, the different certificates you've gotten, or the jobs that you've completed, or the promotions you've already gotten and earned, and the work that you've done. If you're worried about stepping into your future and you're worried about making a choice, look at your past and see you belong on the battlefield. You belong in the arena. You belong in the ability to step into your future, to step into this moment that you're in right now, because your past shows that you are capable of stepping into this moment, and you will be the last one standing on the other side. That's going to do it for this conversation. I freaking love you all. I hope you have a wonderful week. Remember to give grace, show love, and as always, stay stellar. Peace.